Hello and welcome to Different Blokes. We're having one of our chats. I'm Matt.
I'm Mick.
And we're back again. And today we're just having a little chat about DIY because I know it might sound boring as a topic. However, the older generation, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, Mick, seem to be a lot more hands-on than the modern generation, if I should say, or the younger generations. And I think I'm a typical example of this. And I have tried to self-teach and take on a lot of projects just to teach myself things, but it's been very clunky, and I've got there, but I'm not the best at it. But I do my fair share. Is that right assumption?
I think you'd probably be right. Sorry to say that as well. I think you'd probably be right. And it's not because we're older, so we had more to. Basically, it is as well. It's half and half. A lot of the times, sometimes it's because we're older, we failed more times before we got it right. So you sort of like get sick of getting it wrong. So in the end, you go, "I'll get it right this time." I think one of the biggest ones is, especially with chaps that are middle-aged. And practical is if you go and buy a flat pack furniture, we tend to sort of like look at the bits and then throw the instructions over our shoulders and then just build it.
I must admit, I tend to do that though. I can usually do that. It's
but you know, you don't want every time drawers going upside down or something like that. Something like that happens, but pretty much we actually can work it out without the instructions. But I know that a lot of my friends, female friends particularly, they'll go, "Mick, can you come and do this for us?" And I'll go, yeah, I'll pop round this afternoon and make it. So they're definitely allowed to be little, but bar that, no, they know I'm fairly handy.
Well, yeah, no. For me, I remember when I first moved into the house that I'm at now, a couple of years back. We bought a huge wardrobe with sliding mirrored doors on it. I mean, you're talking about 300 piece worth of kit, and the instructions came in Japanese, which was useful for me. That was horrendous.
There's an answer there, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, that was absolutely horrendous. I managed it, and it's still working. It's still up. But what I was getting at, I mean, recently, and I say recently, last year I took on a huge project to knock down the old brick shed we had in the back garden. Built myself a brand new shed, decking the lot. From scratch, really, with my own plans, and that was a big deal for me, and I managed to get through it, and it's still up, it's looking good, but how many people could realistically do that? And I didn't think I could, actually. It was a challenge.
I think if you've got the determination and you're prepared to take the knocks of getting it wrong before you get it right, then you will achieve it. That's the idea of a project. It's something you make yourself. So I mean, it's something you're going to learn all the way through life. You're going to fall down. I can tell you when my father was alive. He said, "Oh son, if you fall down, you always get up yourself, you know." And he's right, because it's sort of like you hit the bottom of the barrel, and then the only person who's going to get you up, and I'm telling you from experience, is yourself. Yeah. If you want to stop in the bottom of the barrel, carry on. Yeah. Me, I wasn't. I literally scraped my way up from the bottom. I've done some really wacky stuff and ended up in the bottom of the barrel a couple of times. Well, many times when it's failed, but it doesn't put me off. Determination is everything. As long as you get up and learn from those mistakes, you're okay.
Well, if I list a couple of things then.
Go on then.
Right, so can you change a plug?
Yes. I don't like electricity, but I can change a plug.
Right, and you hung your TV, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you can put a shelf up.
Yes.
You can put together flat packs.
Yep.
Right, okay, so
lay
bits
carpet.
like that. So can you can lay carpet, good.
Yep.
Can you, let's say you have to fit a wire to something electrical, could you do that?
Yes.
Right, okay. Can you plaster?
Yes.
Can you really?
I can actually.
Right,
yeah.
okay, right, okay. Fair enough, I think that's most of them. But how many of those? Oh, right, okay. What about engine of a car? That's another one.
Right, engines of cars. I used to tinker with cars when I was young. I used to ride motorbikes from about 10 years old or something like that. But yes, I can on older cars.
Right, okay.
Newer cars, they're all boxes of electrics.
Of those things that I mentioned, how many of those were you either shown or were you around as a child?
Building wise, my father used to extend the house and moved house and things like that. And then when I came in from school, it was right, here's a spade, go and dig that trench. So I was around it, so I learnt by experience how to do that. Plastering was a job that it was actually in a theme park. I was told, here's some pictures, we want you to rebuild that, get on with it. So that's how I learnt how to plaster. So most of mine have been hands-on.
Yeah. So so for me personally, can I do a plug? Yes. Could I have it as a kid? Well, I wasn't shown. It was a case of I've taught myself.
Well, when you were a kid, you used to have a little diagram. I think it's still going on the back of the plug. It had a little diagram.
Some of them do, yeah, but it's something I've not done until I was an adult. Same for like shelves, never shown. Not that possibly should have been, but I was never shown, so I figured it out myself. Obviously, you get the first few wrong, and then you realise, oh yeah, I do actually need a spirit level and everything else. Yeah. Can't just wing it. But most things, absolutely plastering. I went on a course, just a weekend course to I know how to plaster. Yep. Recently demolished some walls at a friend's house actually. Turned his 3-bed into a 4-bed and demolished the walls and put doors up, everything. But all these things, we built some new walls.
If you heard what you just said,
you'd
probably go, that's a bit strange what you just said. I've just knocked some walls down.
And built some new ones.
No, you didn't say
Did
build.
I not say that?
You didn't say build new ones.
What did I say?
You went, I've knocked some walls down and changed a 4-bed into a 3-bed.
No, other way around. 3-bed to 4-bed.
I was going, huh?
Well, you could do. You maybe wanted bigger rooms. No, it's the other way around.
Yeah,
not my own. Not my own though. We did it as a team, but I can do that.
Yeah.
The electricity side of it, I would always rather get somebody in.
Right, for those with electricity and plumbing, because we missed plumbing out completely.
We did miss plumbing. Okay. I can't do plumbing.
Now, I can do a lot of things if I need to, right? But I'm going to give you a bit of advice, and this is free advice.
Woohoo!
Electricity and plumbing. Get a registered person in to do it. It's easy to say I'll save some money. However, if something goes wrong, you've got no one to blame but yourself. If you've got a registered person come in to do it, then they are covered for that. Yeah. Okay.
I agree with you there. Yeah. Well, what I'm sort of getting at with my point is, there was a lot of things growing up I wasn't shown.
I will say one thing, that when you're growing up, you weren't shown a lot of things. It depends on your parents and what your parents do actually as well.
Yeah.
So, but as well as that, you also had not as many tradesmen. I'm going to be careful on what I'm saying here because I don't want a political debate about this. You've not got as many tradesmen. Are you upsetting
around. People again?
Yeah, probably.
Right, okay.
But I noticed that some of my friends were builders.
Yeah.
And then BU and change around, people coming in, undercutting and everything like that. They know what they're on about. Now, so there not as many builders went in and followed their fathers into the trade.
Right, okay.
Because it wasn't the money in it was. So from that side, then their kids wouldn't learn from them because they're no longer in that business.
Well, I'm probably going to annoy people now.
You are going to get a lesser of trade, manual trades.
I am going to annoy people now because I actually think I just wasn't shown a lot of things by parents. If I'm honest, maybe things at the time I didn't want to, but I think it's actually getting worse because I think the youth of today, and I am generalising, I understand that.
I know
but I think they're cooked up behind the computers because it's easy for parents just to, they're quiet. And I think sometimes you actually need to get them out of the rooms, you need to get them off the computers, and you need to get them working. And I see the irony in that with us having a YouTube channel. However, realistically, me as a parent, my oldest son who's 7, he has a time limit of how much technology time you can have a day.
Technology it does cause a lot of problems.
Does he gets so lazy.
I'm not going to go into it, but I'm going to cover it briefly. I'm going to say this: that everyone's going into this technology. Yes, we're trying technology, but I've sort of I've done work most of my life, so I'm all right. But what I'm saying is that if you technology directly is one of the reasons why we have so many obese people. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Because the kids, I came in from school at about, I used to run from school to my home, which was 4 miles, and I used to run through the woods, and I used to run and try to beat the bus. If I beat the bus, I could keep the bus money.
Yeah, I did something similar.
Yeah? Okay, so I used to run 4 miles, and then when I get in, I get changed, take my uniform off, and then get changed, and then I'd be out with my mates on a push bike down the woods or swimming in the river.
Yeah, we'd always be out.
always be out. And then if you notice people who are into the game, I know the gamers are going to fume at me, but the gamers particularly, they sit there playing on the games for like 18 hours a day, and you're thinking, that's no good for you.
Has to be a limit.
You're not.
Well, I'll admit, I've had it.
You're having mental stimulation, but you're not getting the physical.
Well, I've had it when I've had time off work, and especially extended time off work, where I've had holidays to take, etc. and things. And if you're in your house on your own and you think, oh, do you know what, I'll just get stuck into this game, and before you know it, your whole day
4
is
hours are gone.
Yeah, but you feel rubbish, but you don't get out of that funk, and it's like you get stuck in it. So, what I'm getting at is just try and involve your kids a bit. Try and teach them a little bit of stuff.
Get your kids and do like we're doing. Just sit them down and talk to them. Have a stimulating conversation, and you're going to get to know your children a lot better. I haven't got children, so I'm sure.
So you'll dislike your children more than you did at the beginning.
You get to know children.
So somehow we started off with DIY, and now we've gone on a child rant.
We have, but this is the whole point about having conversations. The art of conversation is dying in this country very rapidly because of computerization.
Yeah.
It's time now to actually start talking to people. We have a three-way conversation here. We're having a conversation with ourselves, and we're having a conversation with you. You know, if you want to participate in that conversation, send us a comment, ask us a question.
Yeah.
We want to find lots of different topics to talk to you about, to show we're generally interested in everybody's opinion. Definitely. On different things, and we want if I can recommend, right, I'll do a recommendation. You've got your children next year on July the 13th and 14th, I think it is next year. Go to Tewkesbury. There's 10,000 reenactors there. They reenact a battle. There's a big market there. There's fun players there. There's all sorts of things to look at, a market, everything like that. It's all sorted out. It's donation at the bucket at the door. Yeah, no tickets. It's free. It's put on every year by the reenactors. Yeah, and Penny and everyone like that. Big shout out to Penny and everyone like that for putting it on and helping organise those. But I'll give it a free punt because those things are what your children are going to look. They're going to love it. It's they like playing on swords and shields. Go and show them swords and shields. Get yourself out.
Yeah, I think the key is if you do speak to your children, ask them what they remember in the last year, and I think that will. It's always the days out. It's always the things.
Yeah.
It's not sat by the computer. They're not going to remember that, and things like that. So
get them out.
Anyway,
get them outside.
We'll stop rambling on about that. So thanks for listening to us, and we'll see you on a merrier next one.
Have a nice day.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.